Recorded from our studio in the back of an empty train car, it's The View from Down Here with your host, Snackin'. Featuring our special guest, Nobody, and musical guest, YouTube's free audio library. Now here's your host, the avatar of average, Snackin'. Hey, thank you so much. There is nothing like canned applause from my audio library to just lift my spirits and make me feel like the whole world is about me, because in my head, that's the way it really is. Welcome everybody to the start of season 14. Welcome snackers. Let's start this season out with a joke that my father used to tell me years and years ago. What is the difference between a circus and a whorehouse? The circus is full of cutting stunts. This is the first video of the season. Sorry it's out late. Christmas. All that kind of stuff. Usual disclaimer, this channel is all about me. If you get something out of it, hey, good for you. But this video is snacking centered. I want to start out by welcoming Mike. Hey, thanks for coming to the channel. Appreciate you checking us out and subscribing. Where do I want to start? Let's start out with Soldier 76 being gay, which was a big deal about 5 days ago. I could make fun of it. You know, something like, he must be from Oklahoma, because there's only two things from Oklahoma. You know, steers and queers, and he doesn't have any horns. However, in the end, I really don't care. And I think Scott Falco, who I think is a very funny YouTube animator, said it best when he said, and he said this sarcastically, he said, Tracer is a lesbian. This is important and impacts gameplay. And I'll put a link to that video down in the description. Now, the video I'm going to link to was his farewell video to Overwatch, and he was pretty bitter. And I mean, maybe rightfully so. He had a lot of the same arguments that we see in other videos from other people. But, you know, he's got a lot of very funny Overwatch content. And it's kind of worth checking out on his channel. I think, like I said, I think he's funny. But, you know, Soldier 76, I just don't care who he has sex with. I just don't. I don't care if it's Reaper or Mercy or Hammond or Bastion. You know, maybe that's just me, but I mean, Peta's going to be upset if he has sex with Hammond. But I don't care. What I'm really worried about is who I'm going to have sex with and when. Because, again, it's all about me. That's what's really important, is my sexual schedule. On to the armor reduction on the PTR. Puzzle Face was nice enough to send me this graphic. A lot of YouTubers have featured it. And I don't know if this thing's going to go live today. I'm assuming my video won't be up until the 15th. I don't know if it'll go live Tuesday the 15th or not, but I think the tanks are going to have to learn how to play a little bit. We're not going to be able to face tank. We're going to have to be a little more careful about how we engage than we have been up to now, and I think that's the biggest change from this armor. It's not the death of tanks. We've all seen that clickbait on the. If those guys were pedophiles, then Chris Hansen would be Jim Henson. God, Chris Hansen would have been all over that, right? For all of that clickbait, for all that child bait they put out there, because it's not the death of tanks. Tanks are still going to be necessary. Is it the death of goats? Maybe. Although I think an excellent point was made, and I honestly don't remember who said this, that, you know, pro teams have put a lot of time into goats working out their coordination, so we may still see it in Overwatch League. Will we see it in ladder? Probably not. A lot of people don't even know what goats is on the lower levels of ladder. And where they do know what it is, why would you put a character in there that's, you know, extra, you know, susceptible to damage, I guess. So I think the tanks are just going to have to learn how to play around that armor reduction a little bit. The Reaper Lifesteal. Let's talk about that. I think BTC, Break the Controller, said it best. This changes nothing in the upper levels because everyone knows how to counter Reaper. And it changes nothing in the lower levels because we don't know how to counter Reaper. So I don't think that's going to change at all. I think at my rank, the wild flanking Reaper is still going to appear out of nowhere, running through firing his Hellfire shotguns and take your Zen and Anna out because we're too stupid to turn around. I think that's what's going to happen. But as soon as people in Silver learn how to play McCree, that'll stop. Or May, or Farah, or any other Reaper counter. That'll quit. But until that point, until we learn how to counterplay, Reaper will still run over everyone in Silver. Diva change. Hopefully Nixie, a Plat Diva player, I think he's still Plat, he might be in Diamond by now, that I've played with a few times, will see this video and comment. I'm curious to know his thoughts. I haven't played much Diva. Been concentrating on Reinhardt. A lot of Reinhardt this season. That's actually going real well. I'm not at Puzzles level, but he's got 200 hours on me. I'm hoping Nixie will come and comment on the Diva change. I personally feel like Diva is going to have to make some choices now. She's not going to be able to just flip the defense matrix up to catch the fire strike, and then flip the defense matrix up to catch the dynamite, and then flip the defense matrix up to catch the mortar ball. With a 2-second cooldown, you're going to have to make some choices. So is it more important to catch the fire strike or more important to catch the mortar ball? So some choices like that are going to be made, but I think the armor reduction on Diva is going to be, the armor protection reduction is going to be harder on her than the defense matrix. Because as Diva, sometimes you choose to face tank, and you're going to have to use that defense matrix a little more defensively. It's gonna be harder on her, but it's not the death of Diva either. I mean, she's not useless. You're gonna have to be like a Hammond. You're gonna have to know when to engage, and you're gonna have to engage appropriately and then get out. So again, the great Diva players are going to remain great, and the same with the great Hammond players, and the ones that are just kind of okay aren't going to do as well. That's my thoughts. Nixie, if you're out there, hey, jump in, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What else? Oh, the Brig change. So, rally armor only lasts for 30 seconds. I don't think anybody cares one way or the other. It's not the death of Brig either. I was playing a game just the other day, and we couldn't focus her down. She just, we got into a brawl. She's great in a brawl. I think on brawl points, she'll continue to shine. And I think on non-brawl points, you shouldn't have her. I think if you're on a payload map, you might rethink your Brig. That's just me. Last but not least, I ended Season 13 mid-silver on Snackin' and low gold on Heffalump. And guess what? I placed mid-silver on Snackin' and low gold and on Heffalump. So, same shit, different season. Since start of season, which is 2 weeks, maybe 3, I have gone up about 400 SR on Snackin'. Not quite. So I am in gold on both accounts currently. The goal, obviously, is to stay there for once. God, that would be different, wouldn't it? I mean, I would stop masturbating if I could stay in gold. I mean that. So, I've been playing a lot of Ryan. I think I mentioned that. And I think that's made a huge difference in my SR raise. I'm getting the hang of him. And with Puzzle, playing a lot of DPS, we need that shield tank. So I've been doing a lot of that. And then a lot of Anna, a lot of Mercy. We're seeing a lot of Bastion. Bastion is becoming meta again, which is kind of interesting. We're seeing him on non-payload maps. So I've got to learn to play around that Bastion, but a lot of Bastion this season, and really for now that's it. I'm done. One more thing. My holidays are over. Obviously, they delayed my recording schedule and cut into playtime and all that kind of stuff. But I really want to get the Overwatch tracking website that I've got in mind up. I know Blizzard has talked about making our SR a little more transparent, but that doesn't mean that we don't need to track some stats that they are, they're not going to give us all the stats we want up front. So I still think this tracking site I have in mind has some value. I want to get it out by Valentine's Day. I'm using some technologies I haven't touched in years. It's taken me longer than I expected, but I'm still working on it, and as soon as I can, I'll get that out there. And then I'm going to do a desktop component to it so that people don't have to manually enter data, because obviously if you have to manually enter data, no one will use it except me. And it is all about me. And yeah, so that's still in the works, and I'm going to try and get that out by Valentine's Day. The initial version, the fun desktop client thing will take longer. I just want to let everyone know I'm still working on it. Other than that, have a good week. Be good to each other out there. That's all I got. Snacking out. Look at you go, Sadie.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yay.
Oh, that was fat.
Yeah, that's hot. That's great.
The flanking rhyme.
Overall, a bit there, but that's fine.